So I had an interesting experience last night. An old friend or acquaintance of mine from high school got onto Facebook, and he had posted a really long note about being suicidal. In it, he talked about how he wasn't where he wanted to be in his life, how he was still in college at his age, how he felt like his whole life was falling apart, how he was becoming a burden to the people he cared about, and all these other things. And it really kind of struck a chord with me. So I responded, and I was very open and candid. I think depression is one thing that a lot of people know is a thing, but they don't really understand it. They don't understand that it doesn't matter how good somebody's life is, that it can still strike, and it also strikes when you're going through a hard time, and it just amplifies all the terrible things that are going on in your life and makes it seem like it's hopeless and there's no future for you. So I commented on there, and I'm going to read this, and you have to keep in mind, I haven't really talked to this kid since 2008 when we graduated. So I'm going to read my response. I'm going to read it in the form that it's on there. I was originally thinking about reading it the way that I had originally posted it, which I shifted around a couple paragraphs, but I think the statement just means so much more this way in the way that I had edited it, and that I think the way he probably ended up saying it and others ended up saying it. If you don't know, and most kids from high school didn't, in high school I was suicidal. At one point a few years back, I had a person in my life who sent me back so low that I felt those same emotions coming back, and I nearly did something stupid. So I'm there with you. I know what it's like to feel so helpless and hopeless that you don't believe that there's ever going to be a future worth living, but trust me, there will be. It's going to be hard work, and there will be dark times, but if you're following the path that you're passionate about and have people who will support you in it, you can do great things and find happiness. Life is always worth living because A, your life, just like every other life, matters, and B, because life is fun, and death has nothing promised. Many times if you continue to fail, it means that you might not be heading down the right path for yourself. Maybe an academic path isn't what's right for a person. Maybe it is, but you're looking at going into the wrong field. It's never too late to change what you want to do these days. The way I see it, until you're 35 or older, you can change your career, go back to school, whatever. We're all going to live to be over 100. 70 is soon going to be the new 50, and we won't retire until our mid to late 70s. So might as well take your time figuring out what you truly want to do with your life. I know I haven't really talked to you or seen you since high school, but trust me when I say you are important to people. And if people are willing to help you, you're not really a burden. Also, take time to get reconnected with the people who care about you, including family. And don't worry about judgment. Most of us will not fit into society's boxes of what we should be doing when, and that's totally fine. And these days, most people understand that and even expect it. I'm 26 and I'm technically starting my junior year of college. I have clinical depression, ADHD, anxiety, 3 different learning disabilities, and an organizational disability. I've had people tell me I was going to fail since I was in the 2nd grade, and I haven't held a steady job in the past 2 years. We all run into struggles and hard times. In those times, it's easy to forget who we are, and easy to think that bad things in our lives will define who we are. It's not the stupid things or our failures that define who we are as people, but rather how we overcome those obstacles. How we survive, if you will. So yeah, that was my comment on his post. What's interesting is I have other people from high school who have liked that comment, and I don't think a lot of them knew those things about me. You have to remember, since high school, I've kept in touch with very few people. Even though we were a small high school and my graduating class ended up being about 72, I kind of disconnected myself from those people. And it's not that they weren't good people, it's just they aren't people who I was really close to or had any extreme emotional connection to. So a lot of them didn't know these things about me. Now, if you want any more information about anxiety or depression or anything like that, there are a ton of internet links. I'll post some stuff up. Lindsay DeFranco, Philip DeFranco's wife, had a really interesting video about it a little while back. I'll post a link to that. This is somebody who's not in my high school acquaintance or I's position. This is somebody whose life looks like it's going really well, somebody who has a great family and who seemingly is financially sound. But that's what a lot of people need to understand, is that anxiety and depression doesn't care about your situation, that you can feel those feelings of hopelessness no matter what. So I'm going to put a link to that down below. I'm put a link to some sources for other information on depression, anxiety, and things like that. And also I'm going to put the phone number down for the suicide hotline. If you're feeling depressed or upset, and you don't feel like you can find anybody to talk to, I highly suggest hitting up the suicide hotline. It's helped a lot of people. I've never personally felt like I needed to call it, but I do know people who have, and I know that it has helped them out in a lot of ways. Other than that, I'm not really going to do an update at the end of this video because I don't think it's appropriate. I'll talk to you guys later, hopefully sooner than much later.